Back at it again with another LeetCode video. Today we are going to be solving another LeetCode easy problem, again in C++. This time we're solving contains duplicate. So let's start, as always, by taking a gander at the problem here. So, given an array nums, so yes, we have one parameter called nums. It is an array of integers. We will return true. So we're returning a Boolean. We're going to return true if any value appears at least twice, and then return false if every element is distinct. So this is obviously going to be element value synonymous. Right, so if there's duplicates, we return true. Okay, pretty straightforward. So let's take a look at the IO examples. The first vector here. As we can see, we're returning true because 1 appears twice. There's all of these are distinct, so we return false. This one obviously got some duplicates, so we return true. So to keep things pretty straightforward, the naive approach here, it's always good to, kind of think about the simplest way to, or the most brute force way to solve it can be helpful to think about first. It isn't exactly mandatory, but it can be helpful if you're stuck in trying to come up with the optimal solution. So nevertheless, the naive approach is going to be to use a nested for loop, and basically on the outside of the for loop, we're going to be looking at a number, and then we're going to run another for loop and compare that number to all of the remaining numbers. Now obviously this is going to take forever because it's n squared, and typically when you have something n squared for a problem that's this simple, you're going to be able to write some more optimal code. So, but anyways, nested for loop, and then our time is just going to be big O n squared. And then for the optimal approach, essentially what you're going to do is you're going to take advantage of the set data structure in whatever programming language you're using. In C++, it's going to be the unordered set. So basically what that allows you to do, it allows you to store all of the numbers you've already seen, and then look up a value in constant time to check if we've already seen it. So this does use linear space, but it cuts down the time complexity to linear. So I'll say use a set, and then the time complexity is going to be big O of n, because we only have one for loop. So I'll just write the code quickly. So we're gonna have an unordered set. The type is obviously just going to be integers because we're just storing all the values you've already seen. I'll just call this set. And then all we have to do here is just loop through. We can say for int num. In nums, I'll do this style for loop because we don't need any indices for this problem. We're just storing values. So the first thing we could do to check if if there's a duplicate element, in which case we immediately can return true, we just say if set dot contains num, then we return true. Otherwise we can just add, we just do set dot insert num to insert that number into the set, and then we just can keep checking. If we get all the way to the end of the list and we never return true, we know all of the elements are distinct. So in that case, we can return false. So yeah, that's pretty much the code here. Not very many places where bugs could have been introduced, so this is probably correct. Let me add the space complexity. Once again, the space complexity for this problem is going to be big O of n, because we have to potentially we're going to potentially have a set that's has exactly the same number of elements as nums, if every element in nums is distinct. So that's like the worst case. But anyways, let's run this and see if we did it correctly. So it looks like the initial run is successful. So we can go ahead and submit this just to, once again, check how we're doing in terms of percentages. So this is going to be beats 60%. And then memory beats 50%. So, this is a pretty straightforward problem. So, hopefully this helps if, you were having trouble with this problem, or if you just wanted to see another approach. Please let me know in the comments if there's any way this can be improved, any suggestions, let us know. And if this helped you at all, make sure to like and all that stuff. So thanks, and I'll see you guys in the next video.